What's going on, guys? DaVinci HD here, back with another video, and today I want to get into a few music video lighting tricks and hacks that I like to use whenever I get into a pinch. Now, these tricks can work in various situations. You may have a shoot during the day that ran over a little bit. You may have a situation where you just don't have lighting in the budget at this point. You could also have a situation like mine where I recently had some lights stolen out of my car while I was recently going into a store, which is unfortunate, but no matter which situation that you find yourself into, I guarantee you that these few tricks that I talk about today will definitely help your production value. As always, if you got a pen and pad, take some notes. If you guys are ready, let's get into it. Okay, so today we're talking about 3 specific music video tricks and hacks that I like to use when I'm on set and I'm in a pinch. And these tips are great because they're always guaranteed to work whenever I need them. And the best part about it is they're free, guys. A quick tip to use with these techniques is making sure your subject wears brighter colors. This doesn't make a big difference as far as your exposure, but it will help your subject pop if you're in low light situations. Okay, so the first trick I like to use is street lights. This is a pretty robust way of getting lighting on the fly when situations are less than ideal. This technique offers great top lighting for your subject, offering a great cinematic look depending on what your background is and your location. And of course, this technique is free, guys. There's street lights in almost any neighborhood. The best way I find to use this technique is placing the subject directly under the light with their back towards the pole. And this technique will give you a very grimy look for your music videos whenever you're in a pinch. Okay, so this next trick is probably my favorite, guys, and this is gas stations. Gas stations are the best free lighting locations that you can find for budget shooters that can help you get your subject exposed. And sometimes, depending on the store that you go to, you'll actually be able to shoot inside and get some pretty killer shots for your music videos inside as well. Okay, so things to do with this technique is, of course, always be respectful, guys, and ask the store clerk or store owner if it's okay for you guys to shoot outside or inside. Typically, they're cool with it. I've never had a store clerk or store owner really give us any trouble when it comes to shooting inside of their places, but it's always good to be respectful, because this is the type of relationships that you can build that they'll allow you to come back and shoot other music videos later. Another thing that I like to do personally, guys, that's a bit unconventional for shooters, is these types of shots I typically always shoot at 60 frames per second, even performance scenes. So this typically breaks the rule of keeping most of your performance scenes at 24 frames per second. The reason I break this rule personally is because I like to keyframe and do slow motion a lot when it comes to post. And typically when you're in these types of situations that I'm talking about right now, it's typically a run and gun. So I try to keep a lot of 60 frames per second footage on hand because I never know what I like to slow down. And sometimes there's even performance shots that I like to slow down as well. So this is not a tip that you have to follow, but this is something that I do personally. So when I'm in these situations, I typically shoot everything in 60 frames per second. And this just allows me to stay efficient with my editing and the way I shoot and stuff like that. Do not use this rule if you're more of a cinematic person. Keep a lot of your shots at 24 frames per second if you don't plan on slowing a lot of stuff down like I do. All right, guys, so the final trick that I like to use whenever I'm in a low light pinch is pulling out my trusty phone and using one of these lights right here. Android and iPhone have a ton of free lighting apps that allow you to adjust the intensity of the light. Some of them even have strobe capabilities. I've used this technique for dozens of productions in low light situations, and videographers and artists alike cannot tell the difference. Now, this trick is a little hard to pull off outside by yourself. Typically, you're going to want to have a helper with you at about your 3 o'clock, holding the light on the subject while you focus on composition and holding the camera. And guys, there you have it. Those are my 3 favorite music video lighting techniques that I like to use on a budget whenever I'm in a pinch. If you enjoyed this video and made it all the way to the end, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're new to the channel and want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe, and don't forget to press record and get out there shooting, guys. My name's DaVinci HD. I'm out.